Look at the dining scene in Zhongshan. This is Sunday night and this place is packed. People are really enjoying the delicacies of Zhongshan, especially roast pigeon, one of the most famous dishes from this city. I'm going to show you how it's made. It sounds a little bit scary, but eating birds, but it's a generations long tradition here. And this is how the birds are made. These are hung up and then they're going to be roasted. And this place is so popular and it has an English welcoming sign. Welcome to Shiqi. Shiqi is the name of my hometown, how you say it in Mandarin. In Cantonese or Saki, in Zhongshan dialect is Saki. Wow, little dog has joined in on the fun. Wow. Germany. What that you?
On every trip back, I've had a chance to taste Zhongshan's food. Its cuisine and its much lower prices compared to bigger cities in Guangdong, such as Shenzhen and Guangzhou, make Zhongshan one of the best-kept secrets in the region's culinary landscape. As I write this script, I'm even wondering if I should reveal too much. Because we wouldn't want a flood of tourists causing long lines outside restaurants and potentially driving up prices. The city's farther distance from Hong Kong makes it somewhat inconvenient for Hong Kongers to flood in on weekends as they do in Shenzhen. That has helped maintain Zhongshan's slow-paced, small-town atmosphere. So it's never hard to get a table, even at popular restaurants like this one. It serves one of Zhongshan's most famous delicacies, Shiqi roast pigeon. I normally don't eat birds, but when I'm back in my hometown, I make an exception for these roast pigeons. They have crispy caramelized skin and tender, juicy meat, unlike most other poultry.
These are hung up.
I asked one of the customers what the best tasting food in Zhongshan was. I couldn't agree more. We ordered clay pot pigeons. It's a dish even my cousin hasn't tried before. Not surprisingly, it was very tasty.
好不好吃？你最喜欢中山什么？你最中意中山咩食物啊？火锅。Oh my God, this is the head. The head has been. Is that the head? 係咪透嚟㗎？Wow, the head has been split open. You can see the brains. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I want to eat it, but I'm gonna try. Oh my God, very tasty. And they cut it up into different pieces. But for our family, pigeon has a very special meaning because when my maternal grandparents could not run their roast meat business anymore after 1949. In the 1950s, they could not run their business anymore because everything was collectivized. Private enterprise was not allowed. They actually had a hard time making ends meet. And my grandmother actually raised pigeons in the rooftop of their home, of my grandparents' home. And that's how she was able to make some money, by raising pigeons and selling them. So pigeons have a special meaning because I understand the family's history.
On another evening, I came across more pigeons along Zhongshan's Sunwen West Road, commonly called 步行街, or pedestrian street, because vehicles are not allowed. There is even a shop that sells pigeon sandwiches. I had never seen these before. They actually look a bit scary. My friend and I decided to eat at a more traditional pigeon restaurant. Luckily, the chef agreed to let us film how he cooks the pigeons.
为什么乳鸽那么有名？中山乳鸽。
对，这是中山本地的乳鸽，因为它这边的品质比较好一点。其他地方也是。
在这边养的吗？
这个是这边养的，中山这边养殖场没养的。
你们有腌过吗？因为是有放了什么盐啊，什么东西？
啊，对，那是提前腌制好，然后烘干的，对对。
这是腌了1天2天还是什么？
大概腌制的话，就是腌制加烘干的话，大概是48小时。
哦，OK。谢谢。After a few minutes, the pigeons were ready to be taken out of the fryer. He chopped them into bite-sized pieces. It took my friend and I just one bite to know that we loved this dish. We were too busy enjoying our pigeons to take pictures. This picture was taken the next day when we decided we must have another bowl of Zhongshan's shuang pi nai, or double skim milk, after having a fantastic one the night before. It's a famous Cantonese dessert that actually comes from Shunde district in neighboring Foshan city. But Zhongshaners practically consider it their own invention. The silky, velvety milk custard has 2 layers of wrinkled milk skin, hence its name. Its texture is similar to that of creme brulee, but is not as sweet or rich, and to me, it's more refreshing and delicious. It can be topped with sweet red beans, lotus seeds, fresh fruit, or even ice cream. While strolling on Sun Wen Rest Road, with another friend visiting from out of town, I saw yet another famous Zhongshan snack being made in a shop. The aroma of the Zhongshan almond cakes was amazing. I smelled it before we reached the shop. The cookies are crumbly, nutty, and slightly sweet. They have become one of the most famous edible souvenirs from the Greater Bay Area, which encompasses 9 cities and Guangdong, as well as Hong Kong and Macau. The shop also sold pineapple cakes shaped like the fruit itself. But some of my favorite foods from my hometown are actually not well known outside of this region. They are more like comfort food, the kind families used to make at home, such as pork knuckle and ginger stew. It's traditionally given to women after childbirth to help them recover. According to traditional Chinese medicine beliefs, this dish raises body temperature, expels cold, improves blood circulation, and restores vitality during the 40-day postpartum period, a crucial time for the mother's body to recover. The combination of pork knuckle and ginger, both considered warm ingredients, helps restore the mother's qi, or energy, and blood, which are depleted after giving birth. The sweet black vinegar, which makes the dish taste delicious, supposedly draws calcium out of the pork bones, restoring it to the mothers, whose calcium has been drained by pregnancy and breastfeeding. The gelatin and collagen from the pork knuckles help heal the body, strengthen joints, and improve skin elasticity. This dish is also given to family and friends to announce a mother's successful childbirth and the arrival of the baby. There is much more to Zhongshan cuisine, such as this gigantic fried sweet dough ball, which is so pretty that it's a pity to break it and eat it. And these Zhongshan zongzi, or rice dumplings, which are not wrapped in banana leaves or shaped like a pyramid, as is typical, but are instead cylindrical and wrapped in screw pine or lu dou leaves, the spikes of which need to be scraped off before they can be used. My cousin told me my maternal grandfather used to scrape these spikes himself. Now the leaves can be bought ready for wrapping. And many families no longer wrap zongzi. It's a lot of work, so they simply buy them from stores. This restaurant, Shi Qi Lao or Saki Lo, which features Zhongshan food, showed patrons how the zongzi are wrapped. Around the time I was writing this script, it was just before the Dragon Boat Festival, when the dumplings were eaten. The festival commemorates Qu Yuan, a poet and aristocrat who lived during 300 BC. According to common belief, he loved his country, but was slandered by corrupt officials and sent into exile by the king. He later sacrificed himself to prove his innocence, or out of despair that his country was captured by a rival state. According to popular legend, people threw zongzi into the river where he died as an offering to his spirit, and to feed the fish, so they wouldn't eat his body. Dragon boat races, which were initially carried out to reenact a race to search for Qu Yuan's body in the river, have become a cultural tradition. They are held each year in Hong Kong, mainland China, and other places with large Chinese communities on or around the anniversary of his death, on the 5th day of the 5th month of the traditional Chinese lunar calendar. I hope sometime in the near future, I can spend an entire day watching races in Zhongshan. Today, the story of this patriotic poet is still taught to children, and most families gather to eat zongzi, now a symbol of family unity. I brought home to Hong Kong one of the Lu Dou zongzi from Zhongshan. For the first time after understanding its uniqueness, I took the time to see if I could taste the subtle, herbal, and sweet aroma from the Lu Dou, or pine leaves, infused into the sticky rice. Okay, so this is the Zhongshan Lu Dou zongzi. And it's made with special leaves, not the banana leaves that most zongzi are wrapped with. My hairstylist wrapped it. Very few families now would take the time and the trouble to wrap these zongzi. In the old days, everybody wrapped zongzi. Oh my gosh, look at it. It's red bean. Oh, the leaves. Apparently, the leaves have a special smell. The aroma from the leaves seeps into the sticky rice. That smells nice. Ooh. I put it in the freezer because I couldn't eat it right away after coming back from Zhongshan. Oh my gosh. And so I had to steam it for a long time to make sure it's fully cooked. But I think it's very, very cooked. It's hot actually. Okay. Let's get the last bit of zongzi off. Now normally I do this in the kitchen sink because I hate making a mess. But I'm gonna do it here. Whoa. Using my hands. I'm gonna wash my hands later. Whoa. I know I'm not doing it right. People in Zaki are probably shocked at how I'm opening zongzi. Okay. I'm gonna try a little bit. Oh my gosh, I gotta find the egg yolk. I love egg yolk. And here's the pork. I think the egg yolk is probably in here. Whoa, see that? Let me take a bite. It tasted great and helped me appreciate the effort my grandfather and modern-day zongzi makers went through to bring out the unique taste of Zhongshan. So delicious. Really worth the wait. Okay, I'm gonna share this with my family. Hello? I would love to hear what you think of the food in Zhongshan. Have you tried any, including the ones I mentioned in this episode? If you have, let me know your favorites. Thank you to those of you who have not only liked, saved, and shared my videos, but have also given me encouraging comments, useful suggestions, as well as pronunciation corrections. Apologies if my Zhongshan dialect pronunciation is a bit off the mark sometimes. If you liked this episode, please tap the like and subscribe icons and share this video. Have a great weekend and happy Dragon Boat Festival to those of you who celebrate it. See you next week.